Okay. Yes. Okay. So Pankhuri. Okay. 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 It should. Where is I'm spotlighting? I need to spotlight you. Okay. Done. Yeah. Ready. Okay. Welcome, Pankhuri. Welcome to the Kaun Banega Hireable Designer. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. So yes. So you know how this goes. The portfolio review. We'll be looking at your portfolio. It will be in two stages: the scan review and scrutiny review. Scan review stage, I'm going to look at your portfolio as if a recruiter is, you have submitted your portfolio or your portfolio comes in front of them for shortlisting. So I'm going to look at it that lens, whether they'll shortlist you or not. So that's the scan review. And once they shortlist you, if they're going to scrutinize your portfolio, they're going to read, they're going to spend time in the scrutiny rounds, that is 1v1 interviews or portfolio rounds, right? All those rounds. So how will their feedback be, right? So from the lens of the recruiter, we will actually go and see how hireable you are. Okay. So that's the whole situation. Okay. So you are going to be you're going to be graded for this. So the first thing is basically your Epiphany hit. In the scan part, your Epiphany hit, how strong is your the most impressive thing about you, the most, your identity, how strong is it really coming out, or not the entire identity, but how strongly is whatever you want to say is actually coming out. What is that one thing, right? So that will be out of 20. And in the entire scan stage, how your identity is actually.
Andeep, sorry. స్ట్రీమ్ అవుతుంది వైటి యూట్యూబ్లో ఈ కాల్ ఒకసారి చెక్ చేస్తారా?
Okay, 1 second. Just a second, guys. That's a free stream for people. Let's see what's happening. There are 16 viewers already. Okay. Okay. What should we do? There are a bunch of viewers already viewing. Should we continue? Pankhuri, are you ready for this? Are you ready for a public roast? Yeah. Let's do it. Let's continue. Let's not, because there are people already on the stream. Let's see. Oh, okay. Cool.
You're in.
Since how long it was going on?
It started with yours only.
Just started. Just now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So all the YouTube viewers, this one is for you. An internal review call.
Just got leaked.
Yeah, which got leaked. Yeah. Okay. See, if you want this to continue, go comment student for life. Yeah. Then we'll continue access to this. Yeah. Okay. So Riverside somehow connected off live. Is it going from the right account? Sumansri, just can you check
it's
it?
going from your account only.
Yeah, Asha got notification for that.
Yeah. Now my other team members also will just call me saying that, bhaiya, it's going live. Yeah. Okay, fine. Let it continue. Okay. Um, so, okay. So, your entire identity which comes from the portfolio scan, okay, is the next aspect. That means, is it very clear about who you are, and is your best work really visible, right? Is it possible to contact you and all that stuff? So on a scan, is it ready for talking to you or not, is the second thing which we're going to see, right? And that's going to give you a score of for 20. Okay, so and then comes the scrutiny stage. In scrutiny stage, it is the decision stories. The most important thing is decision stories. How well have you presented your decision stories? So especially building up the whole story to the situation and the options which you have considered and all. But most importantly, the reasoning that you have given, the whys, is something which is very important, right? So that will have 20 points. And then the last thing is the depth check. In scrutiny phase, it's a depth check, like how clearly have you gone deep enough, how much attention detail have you given to each of these things that you have presented, right? Especially how clearly have you presented all your thoughts, how much you have related it to business goals, and is your originality actually coming off, and are you able to take trade-offs, right? And then as a part of this, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and right, the conversation which you're going to have is also going to lead for 20 points. Okay, so total it's going to be for 100 points. Okay, Epiphany Hit portfolio scan is for scan stage, decision stories and depth check is for scrutiny stage, and the conversation, right? So total for 100, and let's see where you stand. So if you get above 86, exceptional or hireable or getting there or needs work or not ready, let's see. Okay, fine. So let me just project your portfolio over here. Okay, so Pankhuri, we have your portfolio here. Yeah, so okay, fine. So Pankhuri, so here your portfolio. Okay, so once I start, I'm going to start with the scan reviews to start with, And as I'm doing the scan review, I will give you my reactions as if it's a recruiter trying to see and scanning it. So don't answer these questions. Take a note of these things, because when a recruiter is scanning, you will not be present along with the recruiter. So you'll not be able to answer what they're trying to say, right? So by the end of it, you will be able to get pointers on how to make this better. Okay, fine. So I loaded your portfolio, and your latest project somehow doesn't seem to be loading. You just have to see whether it is the same with you or not. Okay, so why don't you put your portfolio link on this chat, okay, Pankhuri, so that others can also see if it is loading. Guys, can you just quickly confirm if it is only
Yeah,
my
yeah.
issue or not? Because if it is a general issue, then you'll have to change this, because Pankhuri, if a project doesn't load properly, that's not going to be a great impression, right? So you
Right.
need to make
Yeah.
sure your project needs to load. Okay.
I've shared the link.
Yeah, it can sometimes
Okay.
unfortunately happen that only in the recruiter's system it is like that, right? Okay, so people are saying it's not loading for them either. So you'll have to fix this. So that means the thumbnail is not actually working properly. Might have been like, it's heavy, it's a heavy thumbnail. So that's something which you'll have to fix. Okay, fine. So Pankhuri Damele, from UPSC prep to UX design, my journey has always been about people, deeply observant of emotions that go unnoticed. I bring empathy into design experiences and feel intuitive and human, open for design roles and a few awards. Okay, so Pankhuri, the scan, like, I've quickly scanned it, right? So there are a few things which we need to work on over here. Firstly, since you are showcasing only one project, okay, uh, typically people want to look at one project. They don't have time to look at more than one or two projects. But that doesn't mean that your portfolio showcases only one project. Is it on purpose, or you don't want to? You can answer me this question. Is it on purpose that you have kept only one project? Or you're still working on the
Yeah.
others?
Yeah. On purpose, I've kept it one because for the rest, my case studies are not yet done. So that's why.
No, see, I mean, eh, fine. Don't worry about full-fledged case studies, right? Write decision stories and start updating them. Think of it like proof of skills, as I
Okay.
said. You need to impress them with one thing, and they'll get that epiphany hit. And once that epiphany hit is received, now they're looking at your proof of skills. That means what are the other things for which they will actually settle their rationale with, right? So that for that reason, you need to have enough decision stories. So what you need to do is identify what are the skills that you want to highlight. What are the other skills that you want to highlight, and think of it like a proof of skills. So let's say you want to showcase great visuals. Now have something, decision stories which are written for showcasing great visual skills. Let us say you want to showcase for example, you discussed with me saying that um, you know you're very good with understanding all the edge cases and error cases, right? Building a foolproof
Yeah.
system. Now build a proof story for that. Build a good decision stories showcasing what you can do. You can also build something across multiple projects. Across multiple projects, how did you build a system and how did you make it foolproof? Build it and write a story for that and keep it. Okay. And these will take only 1 or 2 days. You already know how to write a decision story, right, Pankhuri?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't overthink it. Don't worry about presenting your entire project. That's not the point of your portfolio. Your portfolio is not about are you showcasing the breadth of your entire project. That is enough for one project, right? For other projects, all you need to do is showcase what are the most important highlights, and most importantly, your thought stories, right? Where have you taken design decisions and what is that story? So those independent stories are enough. They're already your proof of skills. So let them come, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, so this particular one-liner, we'll have to improve your one-liner. Okay. So from UPSC prep to UX design, uh, so obviously you're transitioning from other field, which is fine, which is absolutely possible. But what you're saying is you're claiming things like, my journey has always been about people. How? Why? I'm deeply observant of emotions and that go unnoticed. How? And I bring empathy into designing experiences that feel intuitive and human, right? Now, the question you'll have to ask is, what is stopping from someone else to update the same thing, put the same thing in their portfolio? And how would you prove to be a person who is different over here? Or how would you prove to be a person who actually means what this is? Let's try and work it out. Can you tell me? How is it that you can prove to them, prove to people who are reading, that your journey has always been about people and you are someone who is very good at understanding emotions? How can you prove it? And you have only 2 lines space, right? You don't have a lot of space over here. You have only 3 to 4 lines over here. So you can't
Yeah.
write a big decision story. You can't do it over here. Yeah, go ahead.
So I have to add the examples, obviously, then.
Okay.
I have to
How?
mention my project and how I brought empathy in my decision makings and the user stories. So,
How? But you have only 4 lines, right?
yeah.
So what can you do? Yes, you're right. You have to bring an example. Okay. Anyway, so very simple. Pankhuri, again, if you remember Epiphany Hit, it is the most important thing is to lead with one very, very good and impressive thing. And everything else is understood. Everything else is they're waiting for. They'll be looking at all the other skills, everything. Your remaining portfolio is there for proving every other skill. But here, one thing you want to show, okay? So you have written that one thing. You have written that you are someone who is about understanding the emotions of people. Correct? That's one thing you wanted to say that really wants to come out. And that kind of
Yeah.
summarizes nicely what you have been doing in your UPSC prep as well. Okay. Now, so for example, if at all I'm an interviewer and ask you this question, can you tell me, if I look at this mentally, can you tell me one thing, one example of your previous project where you are really proud of how you have noticed the emotions of people and you have solved a problem? So what would your answer be?
Yeah, so a great example of that would be my Meesho redesign project, wherein I have improved the category navigation for the users, where I have simplified the category experience for the users by simplifying the information
You're still
architecture
saying
and
generic
making
things
it
only,
more
Pankhuri.
accessible.
What improved, simplified? It looks like you're reading it. Go specific, Raj, just be free. Go specific. This is your project, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go specific to an example.
Okay, so here I have I've changed the layout of the categories page where everything was in the current design. All the subcategories have been put in one place, and the user in the journey gets confused and becomes very overwhelming. So I have simplified it and made it to look for just creating one thing at a time. Sorry.
Okay.
So when, for example, here in this before and after, you can see user have already a mental model wherein we when we shop in e-commerce websites, we look for a particular broad category, saying women category or men's
Yeah.
category. But in the before version, you can see it is not like that. It is given in more specific tags, like here kurti sari lehenga, women
Okay.
western
So
or lingerie. So yeah.
so you have improved the categorization is what you're trying to say, right? You have a better architecture for the
Yes.
categories. That's what you're trying to say over
Yes.
here. Huh. Basis
Yes.
what? Basis what have you decided better categorization? I'm not yet into your
Basis.
scrutiny review yet. We'll actually get there. But all I'm trying to find over here, because I have bigger questions when it comes to your scrutiny review, all I'm trying to find is one example where you can prove that you are very much about the emotions, right?
Yes.
I'll give you a clue. Where did you do an emotional journey mapping of users that you identified some of the hits or lows and you implemented that as a part of your solutions? Is there something like that?
Yeah, I have conducted few user
Huh,
interviews
you have
wherein
conducted
I have
usability test. my question is again very simple. Where have you identified emotional hit or loss of users?
It's when user scrolls the
Huh.
main categories
Hmm.
and the selected category does not reflect in on the right side, and it gets confused and overwhelming when the user sees कि when they click one particular, let's say, men, but it doesn't show the respective category towards the right. It's that point when a user faces the confusion and do not get the clarity of where the scrolling is going.
Okay.
So at that point, I took and I have simplified that visual layout wherein when a user selects one category, only that category is shown at that point of time, and no followed up or the before categories is shown. It's giving user more control for
Okay.
better
I
navigation.
understand. Okay. So let's actually build upon that. Okay. Now, so what we're trying to say, okay, your UPSC to UX design is fine. Okay. But that we'll actually want to not lead with it, because
Okay.
ultimately, if I'm hiring you, what's in it with me regarding UPSC? Why should I hire you? Like, right? It should actually come out as a plus point. It should come out as you're good at UX. On top of it, by the way, I've also prepared for UPSC, so I also know people. Oh, nice. Should come as a plus point, not as a way that you have to lead. You're leading with, right? Anyway, so now,
Yeah.
so it's always about people and observant of emotions, right? Instead, what if we convert it into saying that proud of designing a multi-dimensional, no, filter. I need you to come up with a proper name for it. Dynamic filters. Are they dynamic, by the way? Are they changing dynamically basis the
Uh,
journey of the user? Or are they static
no, no,
filters?
no. Those are static. Static categories. Yeah.
Static categories. Okay.
Yes.
Hmm. All I'm trying to do is I'm trying to arrive at, because the examples are very less. All I'm trying to do is arrive at that one line which you can be very proud of, where you're bringing in your systems thinking, and through the systems thinking also how you have solved for certain emotions. So proud of designing s- proud of designing specific categories. You have to make this as a better English, but let us try to form it. Proud of designing specific categories, the architecture of the categories, basis the journey mapping of.
Of how the user scrolls the categories
Huh.
page.
Okay. So what I'm trying to do, so I am, so because you understood the emotions through the journey map, okay, you actually mapped out the entire journey of the customer on how they're actually using the categories. Okay. Now, you've done that. Through that, you have identified their emotions, and then what did you do? You did a system design. Okay, you made a system. I assumed it is dynamic. It is not. It is fine. Okay, but you assumed, you made a better system design, right? You questioned the existing system and you made an entirely different system, right? So, if you have to put it in a generic way, uh, experimenting with creating new systems by empathizing customers through journey maps, okay, identifying what emotions take the big hit and solving for them. So this is a generic way to say it, but if you let us say, you have to add specifically, because you have like a very good project over here. Proud of how I designed new systems in new system architecture for categories in Misho, getting insights from the emotions understood through a journey map of the customer. Okay. Now, I'll see if AI can summarize that line and give it again. uh, okay, I'm not able to see that option. Anyway, okay. So now that I've said that, now you might ask me this question, Pankhuri, saying that how can you go so specific in an opening line statement over here, right? That's the point. What I'm trying to say is, it is better to make them curious about, oh, what is the system design? Oh, she did an emotional journey mapping for the customers in Meesho, and she made an entire different architecture for categories. It is better to have them curious about that than write a generic line which says something which 100 other people are saying, because nobody speaks like this, right? Nobody is directly talking about the most biggest high point of their project in their introduction, right? So when
Yeah.
you lead it with that, when you lead about what is the most proudest thing that you want someone to look at, now that becomes like an introduction. Let us say you're at a conference and you're like, hey, what do you do, Pankhuri? And if you say, I'm a UPSC aspirant, I've tried for 7 years and I'm now trying to UX design. And okay, thank you, Pankhuri, meet you again. They're gone, right? So and you're like, no, I'm actually deeply observant of emotions. It's all about people. And please stop. No, let us immediately I come to you and say, hey, Pankhuri, hi. And you say, yes, hi. And then I ask you, what do you do? I've been working on a recent project, and in that I worked on this new category architecture, where the best point is I understood how to do those micro changes from the emotions which I've mapped through the journey. So I'm very excited about these learnings these days. And I'm trying to expand it to multiple projects. I've been experimenting with AI as well, and I'm relating emotional journeys even in AI related interactions. So I'm working on all these things. What about you? Now see the impression you are carrying, right? Specific into the project. Now it is assumed you don't have to say that you are a UX designer. You didn't have to say that you know UX methodologies. You didn't have to say that you will design intuitive experiences. All these are given now. It's understood. Correct? And now it is, I'm very curious. Oh, what is that? Okay, very interesting. How did you do that? What is this new category architecture? Where did you understand the emotions? I also want to learn. Now people want to talk to you. Right? So that's
Yeah.
why being specific in this one-liner is always, always better. And it gives that very interesting curiosity loop to people. Right? Okay. So, nice. Okay, what are you doing right now, Pankhuri?
I'm currently exploring opportunities for UX design role and also
Correct.
and
But you're working on
uh,
something, right?
yeah, I am also working on AI interactions, and this project I am currently building is a AI tool where I'm trying to create a habit forming app,
Correct. So you're doing
habit
that.
forming drinking water.
So this gives us
Yeah,
two things for us to fill. Instead of saying open for UX design roles, which is obvious, who is not open for, like, you have a portfolio means you are open for opportunities. Who
yeah,
creates a portfolio and says, sorry, I'm closed for opportunities? No one says it, right? So it's obvious that
yeah,
you're open for UX design roles. Instead, utilize that space on telling what are you currently doing. Working on a community project to integrate AI into habit formation. This is what you're working on right now, because you're actively
yes,
learning. You're actively learning how to relate AI capabilities to interactions. Right? You're learning. So it is a solid thing which you are doing right now. It takes time. You don't want to come out as someone who is sitting free. Right? You're learning, and it's just an
right.
important
Yeah,
thing. And it is actually giving a lot of advantage over a lot of other people who don't have the time. As I kept saying in the other reviews as well, you need
yes,
to make them feel envious that why don't I have this time? Oh my God, like you have this time and you're utilizing it so well. I've been so busy with this job and all, I'm not even getting the time to do the kind of things you're doing. That's the kind of impression we need to give, not the other way around. They're just sitting free and I can, like, no. Okay. So change
yeah,
it to
yeah,
what are you currently exploring, right? And let people contact you about that. People want to talk to you about interactions in AI products. When AI capabilities come to products, how are interactions coming and how are they happening on mobile? That is what they want to contact you and talk to you about, because you are a nerd, you are an interesting person to talk to, you are geeking out on all these things. And that's why they want to talk to you.
right.
Right? And naturally, fit will come naturally. When people have these conversations, people will be like, oh, you know this, you have been exploring this. Over Pankhuri, you don't have to prove anything else. That's what I'm saying. You can naturally talk. Let us say it comes to AI interactions. You can talk about AI capabilities and how to build these new interactions. You can talk about it right now because you're working on it. You can have a conversation,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Now, if you make someone curious to have that conversation, they will have this conversation with you. Once they have this conversation with you, they see that, oh, we need someone like this. And it's done. After that, they're only going to check base check. Can you do some UI? Can you do some? In fact, all your vibe coding project and all that becomes a plus now. Because they'll be like, oh, so she can also vibe code and bring those prototypes as quickly as possible instead of wasting time sitting there. No, I will do everything on Figma itself. I'll not do that. She will actually vibe code and save our time. She'll take that ownership. Now, all of that will become a plus right now. So naturally, they would want you to work. In a half an hour, they can take a higher call if you make them curious like this. Make sense? Right?
Yeah.
All I'm trying to say is don't assume. When you have one or two proud things to say, attract them with the topic, with the subject. Instead of saying, see, I have so many years of experience, see, I have so many projects, is not your strong point. So we don't have to show
Yeah.
it as a weak point now. Oh, there is nothing in my portfolio. I don't have any years of experience right now. Is not the way I want to say.
Exactly.
O- on the contrary, we are saying, yeah, everyone seems to be so lost. But I'm someone who is utilizing my time to prepare for these things. And I'm doing interesting things. I'm working on a community project. And if it happens that I get a great opportunity, I will do. Or else I love what I'm doing right now. I want to figure out the new interactions for AI products. I'm geeking out on that. I'm not worried. Only when I get an opportunity which gives me things to do like that, only then I'll go. Or else I'm just loving what I'm doing. This is the attitude you carry. Then naturally people will be lined up. Right? Super.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the scan part, right? So this project you have to check things should has to easily load, contact, right? Contact information needs to be clear. Some awards and all you have to put. Okay, great. But what should they contact you for? As I said, it should be very clear. They should be contacting you for discussing about these topics. Okay? They should not think like the moment they contact you, all you're going to do is, if you have any opportunity, please let me know, or else I don't want to talk to you. No, that's not the impression you want to give. Okay? So clear. So let's now go and do a quick scrutiny review. Okay? Oh, before scrutiny review, I just want to quickly ask this question. Okay? This interview question. So Pankaj, I'm going to send you a link. Can you just quickly join this link?
Yeah. Okay.
I just realized people can't actually listen to you.
Oh.
Yeah, because since we didn't plan the stream, and I've just realized that on the stream they can't listen to you. So if you can join that link, I'll just enable that thing for you. Harsha, can you just check in the stream if people are able to listen to Pankhuri? They were not, right? It was only my voice, isn't it? Hmm. Okay. We'll anyway have a better edited version for all the people on YouTube. You're not missing anything. I mean, yeah, if when it comes to missing, there are a lot of reviews.
I have
Oh, yeah.
joined.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So,
But I can hear two voices. It's echoing for me.
oh, 2 times. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Hello, hello. Pankhuri, can you speak now?
Yeah, but it's like hello, 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 hello.
It is still coming 2 times for you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's still the same.
It's okay. Is there some music playing, Pankhuri? The background?
No.
Huh. What about now? Pankhuri, can you speak once?
Yeah. It's the same. It's still echoing. I think since we are using two platforms now, I think we have to leave
Yeah, I
Zoom.
know.
Then only it will be normal.
One second. I think I know what to do. Okay. See if you are able to see this echo cancellation. Acha, okay, no problem. Fine. It's okay. We'll get used to this. Since we have not planned for this, but it's anyway happening. Anyway, so Pankhuri, so the question to you, okay? As I said, the question to you is, tell me about yourself, okay? So first you tell that, and then before we go to your scrutiny review, when we look at your portfolio, first I want you to nail this answer. That is, tell me about yourself. Okay, go ahead, Pankhuri.
Yeah, so hi, I am Pankhuri. I am your UX designer. My biggest strength is my critical eye. So I love taking existing design and finding the hidden edge cases where a user might fail and redesigning it for better uh, accessibility. Git. Oh,
I can
okay.
hear her. Pankhuri, can you speak again?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Pankhuri. I'm a UX designer transitioning into UX designing. My biggest strength is my critical eye. I love taking existing design and finding the hidden edge cases
No,
where
no,
a
wait.
user might fail.
Pankhuri, it feels like you're reading. I don't want that answer. Cool. Let me. Okay, let me build this up for you, right? What do you want to prove in this answer?
Sorry?
What do you want to? What is the point you want to land in this answer?
I want to highlight the my strengths basically.
What is that?
Finding the edge cases one, and the other is finding the critical feedbacks in the designs. What's going
Critical
wrong in the
feedback in
designs?
design and okay,
What's
fine.
going wrong with the designs?
So
Yeah.
correct. Okay, these 2 points are there. Are they there in your mind?
No.
Okay, correct. That's it. So you have only these two in your mind right now. Forget about the whole sentence structure. Forget about writing, like, telling everything what you have written. Forget about all that. Make sure these 2 points are going to land. Okay, just keep them in your mind. However you want to do, you want to land only these 2 points. Okay, you have 1 to 2 minutes time to land these 2 points. Clear? Okay, let's do it again. So I'm going to ask you again. Tell me about yourself, Pankhuri, and only you have these 2 points in your mind, and you have to somehow land them. That's it. That's your job. Okay. Are you clear about the 2 points? First of all.
Yeah, but I already mentioned those very directly, I felt.
No, it felt like you're reading. It doesn't work if it feels like you're reading.
Okay.
I'm not changing the script. I'm changing the way you deliver.
Okay, okay.
It should not feel like you are reading. You have these 2 points in your mind. You want to land them. So let it flow the way it comes. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? Okay. So, yes, again. So, Pankhuri, nice to have you here in the interview. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi. I am Pankhuri and I am a UX designer transitioning
Mm-hmm.
into UX designing field. And
Okay.
I have developed my strength in finding the edge cases where a user fails in the journey. And
Okay.
I have a very keen eye for detail wherein I am able to find what is not working well with the users and where they
Okay.
face any pain points, and I
Okay.
come up with a better solution by keeping the UI as it is, but and also improving the accessibility and improving the ease of use for the users.
Very good. See, now the way you delivered, right? It felt very natural. The same points came out, but it felt very natural. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right? Now, we need to add one more thing. You are claiming that you have an eye for accessibility. You are claiming that you have very good critical thinking, right?
Yeah.
Now you need to have add one-liner proof statements. So how will you add proof?
So, a great example of my strengths are the Misho project I did,
Huh.
wherein I have simplified the user journey, where a user, while selecting a particular category, is not able to find the same
Correct.
in the
Hmm.
yeah, okay. Wherein the user is not able to find the selected category and is lost in the design. So I have,
Okay, this is the entire story, but the
yeah,
mentioning is your how you built new categories in Meesho. Let's say that's the subject. Now you have to add it to the previous lines you have said, right? So hey, I'm Pankhuri, and I'm transitioning into UX design. And recently, my focus has been on how is it that I can build foolproof systems. For example, in the latest Meesho project, which I have been working on, which I worked on, which I'm going to present in my portfolio as well, I have explored how to build categories which are more meaningful in the journey of the customers. I retained the UI in a very similar manner. It look exactly like Meesho, but I've made the changes in such a way that very natural in the journey, whatever the user is expecting at that particular point of time, that kind of category actually comes up. So I'm taking the same thing forward into across multiple projects as well. I've been exploring along with AI as well. For example, I've been working on a project on habit formation, and I am linking AI capabilities to a human level interaction like drinking water. So I'm working on that actively. So yes, that's about me. See, the same length, I didn't increase the length of the statement under what I spoke for like under 1 minute, correct? But now you're curious about both the projects which you are doing. Now you it also got established that these are the skills which are very strong about, right? So the same lines, I wanted to land 2 points, but I give two examples in single liners basis what are the experiments I'm doing right now. Now you will believe that I have the system thinking. Now you are curious to know more about it. Got it?
yeah, yeah.
That's it. Okay. So this is how you will give your tell me about yourself. Got it?
Yes.
Wonderful. So now let's go look at your case quickly and see how it runs. I'm hearing some music. I don't know where is it coming from though. Okay. So you're able to see the screen? Yeah. Cool. Redesign the scroll experience in Meesho's categories. About. So if you utilize the big heading saying about, instead a better newspaper heading of directly saying what this is. Right? What is this about, Pankhuri? What is the project about? Categories, right?
Yes.
better architecture for categories, correct?
Yeah.
So you need to make a newspaper headline about that. Imagining Misho's categories experience uh, catered to the emotions of a customer, something like that, right? Directly telling about what this project is about in that one single line. I will understand what this project is about in that line, and also I can read more if I want. Okay.
Okay.
So you have your prototype. You're explaining what's broken. Interesting. When the user is lost in scroll, good, direct. Passive category browsing, subcategory overload. These headings feel a little ChatGPT generated. Write complete statements. What is passive category browsing? How is that an issue? Tell me now. Answer.
Okay. Actually, in my previous version, it was in sentences, so and it was after your feedback that I've shortened the text.
Shorten the text, but that doesn't mean you make them choppy. Yes. See, you don't write Mahabharata. That is obvious because people won't read. But headings are very important. Complete
Okay.
sentences are important. Passive category browsing means what? If it is a newspaper headline, how would you say it? Tell me.
Uh, when a user is searching for a particular category, but it gets lost midway because the further more categories are displayed at once in that one particular scroll. So that way,
Very good.
user is lost in the scroll.
Categories which users try to find get lost in a long scroll. Good.
Okay.
One sentence hits the bullseye directly.
Yeah.
Correct. Subcategory overload. Too many subcategories appear at once. Choice overloads leads to slower abandoned decisions. Too many subcategories overload. Too many subcategories cause decision overload. Clear? Right, so these are complete sentences. These are short sentences, but complete sentences give a clear view about what you're talking about.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah.
See, for example, you're using AI to shorten things. So what I'll tell you what I did with Claude recently. Okay, so whenever you ask ChatGPT or Claude, hey, please make shorten this. This is what it does. It gives choppy lines. Okay, because English readers, native English readers are very much pretty okay with this, because maybe that's how they speak, or that's how, like, they communicate, or this is like poetic language, right? But this is not clear when you actually read someone when they are looking. This is not poetry, right? They don't want to decode what you have done. That's not the point over here. They have very less time. They want to quickly understand what you are good at. So for them, things have to be very clear. They want to judge you. For them, things have to be very, very clear. Directly, we have to land them the points. So poetry is not the point over here. So what I did with Claude is, I gave a big guidelines to Claude on how I speak. I gave a document. I fed a document saying these are all the statements. I always give complete statements. And if at all I have to cut things short, don't make the lines choppy. Give full sentences. Cut down unnecessary explanation. You reduce the number of ideas being spoken, it is fine. But whatever idea you're speaking, give it very clearly. Complete the whole sentence. A sentence should have a subject, predicate, object, everything it should have. Right? You give this as a guideline, then your GPTs will also return you much better statements. Okay? Okay, so user is getting lost in a big scroll, subcategories are like a lot, right? And a visual hierarchy is also getting broken. Okay, I'm very happy that you're clearly showcasing how the before and after. I think last time when we reviewed, this is something which we spoke about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Clear showcase of what is the before, what is after, especially because you worked on a project and you are proud of not changing the design system. You're someone who's like, hey, you know what? I'm not doing a cheap redesign where I think I have to change the entire UI of Misho. I am following strictly, if at all I'm working at Misho, I am going to follow the same design style guide, right? The same design system. And my design is solving problems within that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, so this is why view all fix backfired, and the big realization came to scrolling is simply easier than clicking. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. So instead, okay, I think this was part of mid review or something. No, we debated about this view all, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so you basically realize that it is better to make people naturally scroll to something which they want to see more instead of having a click and then it goes somewhere else. Correct?
Yeah.
Got it. Interesting. Very nicely written decision story. Okay. Uh, Only one change I would ask you: iteration one, iteration two, right? Lead the
Yeah.
headings with what changed in the iteration.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, because they you have a highlight, right? So,
Yeah.
for example, view all initial iteration had view all to view all other categories. Iteration 2, I then added a big button to toggle. I then explored in iteration 3, I explored having a sense of what the remaining categories through an icon. Then when you read with those headings, even as I'm scanning quickly, I know what changed in each of the iterations even without reading any of this.
Yeah.
Now if I'm
Makes
curious,
sense.
then I will read these parts. Correct? And I can ask you
Yes.
questions as well, right? Okay. So, so Pankhuri, interview question. I can see that you've iterated 4 times. That is good, Pankhuri. Can you tell me how did you conclude that this iteration might be the best for the users?
So I went with the original design only. So the users of Meesho already have this visual.
Okay.
I'm hearing my voice twice.
Okay. That's something which I cannot fix immediately. So just go ahead. It's okay. Just
Yeah, okay.
um, speak slowly. It's okay.
No, it's not echoing. What I'm saying, it is falling this again. Like it happens no, in calls glitch.
Okay. Even on the Zoom call, you're hearing her voice twice. Even on the stream. No, there is no easy fix right now. The echo cancellation is disabled, Pankhuri, and for that I'll have to stop the live. It's not an easy solution. That's what I'm saying. We can't fix it right now. So let's go ahead with this. It's okay. The discussion is interesting, so people will listen. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went with the original design only because I felt when the user already have a particular design which they are already using it, it's
Wait, this is was.
oh God, echoing so much.
Mute yourself once. 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 Mute yourself.
Yeah, it's muted.
Yeah, it's Yeah, can you talk now?
Yes, is it still echoing?
Still resound is there? Okay, there's nothing I can do. I think I should. 1 second. Can you just remove yourself from that link?
Review from where?
Exit from the link I sent.
From this riverside?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, let's continue. Yeah. So the question, I'll quickly ask the question again. Okay. So as you have done 4 iterations, correct? So how did you know that this last iteration is where you stop? How did you take this decision? Okay. Okay. But what made you take the final decision? Okay. So Pankhuri, whenever a decisive question is asked, right? How do you decide this is the final? You need to give a convergent answer. So when you're exploring more options, you went divergent. Okay. When you decided finally this is the thing, it should be convergent. How do you take a convergent decision? Convergent decisions, okay, note this down. Convergent decisions are always through constraints. What constrained you to take a decision, a convergent decision? Time. Time is a very important constraint because you can't keep on doing this project, right? Two, money. Where is this is a concept project, but still virtually where would money go? For example, you let's say did you do any usability testing on this? Okay, that's a wonderful answer. Then you should first of all immediately quote usability testing. You have usability testing, you have to immediately talk about it. That's how you take decisions. So you have tested it with usability, and where do you stop? Obviously, you have tested it once and you have reached this conclusion. If you test more, you can get better conclusion, but you don't want to spend more money on this because usability test will take money, right? So time and money are important constraints, and then any other technical constraints, you basically could have explored other ideas. Let us say AI smart filters. But right now, you don't want to bring in all the dependency on that particular technology which is not available right now. You want a more shippable product. That's another constraint. So a decision you finally make is always convergent. Clear? Right? Okay. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. As I said, there's no easy fix to this. We'll anyway give a recording later. Either we'll have to hear your voice 2 times, or uh, or people on Zoom cannot hear your voice. Then all of them have to view it on YouTube. I don't want that. It's okay. Mm. Okay. Okay. So now, okay. 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 By the way, so you have presented, compared to last time, you have presented all the stories in a very nice manner. Okay. I can see that you have visually made it very easier to read. Okay. The only problem is Figma. The problem is, it's just so, you just can't, I'm not able to compress this. You just have to read it in a very, very big screen. But okay. Huh. What I would want to explore next. Okay, so I love this whole decision stories. Very well written, Pankhuri. It's coming out very well, but there is only one complaint. Your most important points, that is one, your ability to think systems. Second, your ability to think critically inside of a journey. Those two have to very strongly come out even more. That means you will have to represent the highs and lows in a journey and how you related them back to a design decision over here. That needs to be shown. You have done that in your project. You have a journey map. You have done that in your project. And through that only you have done your usability testing, correct? That means that has to come out. It is not coming out that you have taken decisions in the journey and not spot fixes. How do you prove that? It has to visually be present over here. Okay. So that's one complaint I have. And the next thing is, ultimately, what is the business impact of this conversion? Correct? So where is it coming out? Is your other story coming and talking about how you have increased conversions? Here you wrote, no, that's not also. Ultimately, it is, yeah, that's not coming out, Pankhuri. Conversions. So can you change a little bit in your story so that conversions actually come out as a language? For example, why I kept tweaking the labels until they matched how people shop. Correct. Very good. Okay. That's an interesting thing. Now, how can it lead to conversions? People are dropping off because they are not able to see labels which they want to find, and therefore they think that their products are not available here, and they are dropping off. Correct. So if you are actually solving the problem of the drop off, that means you are preserving the conversions. So have a subheading very clearly over here. Having matching what people are expecting ensures lesser drop offs. Have it as a subheading very clearly. So I know that your focus is on the business metrics very clearly. And in the conclusion, you can clearly give a conclusion in the last, whatever you have decided, file redesign, right? And through this, because of reason A, reason B, reason C, we can assume that the product will have higher conversions than what it had. Conclude. You don't. Dude, this is a concept project. Again, you know that answer, no? You remember last time, what is that? Simple. No, see, Kratika also had this question, right? How can you do then? Why don't you think Meesho has done it? Only you are thinking only. If someone asks you this question, right? Do you have any real data this will work for Meesho? Very simple. Without even working in Meesho, with spending 3 weeks, I came here. Just imagine if I'm working with Meesho and I have the real data, how much I would have done. That's it. That's a simple, straightforward answer. You're showcasing your potential here. You don't have real data, therefore you can't show real data. You give me the opportunity, dude, then I'll give you the real data. This here, instead of this, I will put a real number over here. You don't trust me, you give me an internship for 3 months, then we'll see. It will happen because you're going so micro. Your project is good, you're going so micro. You went into those parts, small parts of the journey. It will impact conversions. Things will work out. Why not? Right? So therefore, you're clear on the ask. Okay. So anyway, a very, very good revamp, Pankhuri. Very good work you have done after the previous review, whatever we have worked on. Right. So the business focus really needs to come. The direct headlines, showcasing that, and your how you went from the journey to this is something which you need to clearly show. Systems wise, it is fine, but I think visually the design system is what you have showcased over here, right? Where is that? Yeah, here. Okay. So this is good. This edition is good. Okay. So that is sorted. So these improvements you can do for your scrutiny, right? Okay. So now it's time to give you your scores, Pankhuri. Okay. So let us see what is that you will score. So on the chat, let's see what out of 100, where will Pankhuri score? What do you guys say? Hey, what are the score predictions, huh? Okay. So Pankhuri, what do you think?
More than Inder.
That's a nice way to say it. Oh. Sumanjali, you got the...
Yes, Sandeep, yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sumanjali, you got my message, right?
Yeah,
She's
Sandeep.
saying it.
Okay, so Pankhuri, meanwhile, while my team is getting back on the scoreboard, okay, so tell me, what in summary, what are you going to change out of all this? Give a quick summary of what all you have taken out of this review. She's stressing out on the answer. Free flow, ba. Pankhuri, what is that? Are you on mute or what? No sound. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I think I can hear you now. Yeah. Sorry, can you say it again?
Yes.
Somehow I couldn't hear your voice.
Okay, no problem. I was saying I have to improve on business goal. I have to make it more visual, and the Epiphany Hit part that needs to be highlighted more. It's there, but obviously it's not emphasized that much in the case study. So I have to, since I want to highlight that only my strengths through the case study, so I have to make it more visible and. Um, few labels, few taglines I have to tweak. Those which are coming as chat GPT-ish. So I have to rephrase those and I have to uh, make it better.
Okay.
And that journey mapping thing which you highlighted, that
Flagship.
it's not coming. That also I need to.
Okay. So Pankhuri, so here is your, you know, here is your scores. Okay. So in your scan review, as I said, the Epiphany Hit part is something which you'll have to work on. I've already helped you. I've given you clear pointers on specifically how you can state what you say and how you can put things on the portfolio, the single liner, right? And how you lead with the project, including the thumbnail also. I want it to load properly and you need to showcase your most important skills, right? So you have a good room for improvement over here. Okay. But you have attempted. So therefore you get 11 out of 20 in the Epiphany Hit. Okay. So you can easily make this above 17 to 18 if at all you speak specifically into what you are working on, the way I've told about um, working on the systems, working on the journey map, and bringing specific example from Misho and the water drinking AI capabilities. All that, if you just make that statement properly with specific examples directly, you can actually take it from 16 to 20. 16 to 18 is where you can go. Okay. So, and then your entire portfolio scan uh, is decent, very focused. That way, it is good. We can contact you, very clear. But yes, your portfolio has to load. You have to make sure it is always in a state where it actually loads properly. The thumbnail and all should be very clear. And on the other things, you missed showcasing your other skills. You don't want to come out as someone who is just one project, right? One project is what people will look at, scrutinize it, but there are other projects which are your proof stories, which are also going to be there. Okay.
Yeah.
So for that reason, you are actually getting 13 out of 20. Okay. And coming to your scrutiny part, the decision stories, you've done a very good job over here. You've written very, very good decision stories. So the only thing is, I wanted you to add a few specific one-liners on what changed in every decision you have taken. Okay. And you have to go a little more specific into the impact of those decisions and how are you connecting it to the overall goal of the project, that is conversions. There's only room for improvement over here, but or else you've written very, very good decision stories. So therefore you have scored high. So you got a 16 out of 20 in decision stories. Okay. And when it comes to your depth, your originality is where you're missing points. Okay, because you have shortened it all using ChatGPT or something. So your original voice is actually not coming out very clearly. And as I say, your business thinking related to conversions, that has to come out very clearly. But more importantly, your ability to take the journeys, and you've done all that, but it's not coming out in the case study. Okay, how you took the journeys, understood those micro emotions in the journey, and how you translated them into interactions is something which has to come out. Okay, and the compromises also need to come out. So with all that, there is a room for improvement. That is 12 out of 20 is what you get over here. Okay, and the conversations, So you have been giving good answers only because you're prepared, but still the answers feel prepared, they don't feel natural. So you'll have to work on that. And you have to be very confident about the way you speak. You have to believe what you are trying to say. Have 1 or 2 hit points, what you want to really land over there, and speak about them nicely, happily, confidently. You speak about them. Don't let them think that you're having some burden in your mind. That's how it looks like right now. Don't give them that feeling. You are an enthusiastic person who is enthusiastically working on things, and let them hire you for that enthusiasm. It doesn't matter if even if you've not done any project, but you're enthusiastic, you'll continue that enthusiasm coming to the company as well. You will explore these tools, you will keep doing these projects. Let them hire you for that. So therefore, that has to be reflected in the way you're talking. Got it? So for that reason, you have scope to improve over there. So that gives you a 13 out of 20. Okay. So these are your overall scores: 11, 13, 16, 12, and 13. So therefore, you get a 65 out of 100. So you're getting there. Okay. So you clearly, easily, in the next few weeks itself, you can improve on each of these things. Epiphany Hit, you can improve. Scannability, you can improve. Right? The way you talk, those specific things you can really improve. And newspaper headings in your decision stories and relating to business impact, just in the next few weeks, you can drastically improve, and you become even more extremely hireable. Right? You already said you're getting leads, you're able to get into some conversations, which is good. But for them to convert, you do these things, pakka you'll land, Pankhuri, because you have the skill. I know that. Given that you get the job, you will do very well. I know that part for sure. But it has to be translated to the way you communicate. Got it? Okay. So potentially you are hireable, Pankhuri, remember that. But your portfolio and the way you present is not showcasing that yet. Yeah. So you'll come back to me with all these changes later. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Super. Okay. Okay. So thank you very much, Pankhuri, for this. Yeah. Super. Awesome. This help you, right? This help you in having a clear action items on what you'll have to do. You get full clarity, right? You're not in any ambiguity on what to do, right? Super. Very good. Very good. Awesome. Okay. Go ahead. Okay.